I'm recording today's trade recap actually while I'm currently in a trade on ES during the ADA session. But anyway, nonetheless, let's go over how I was able to make 6 risk reward just trading at a 50% win rate today. So here is Sunday open on the left side, as you can see, August 10th. I took 2 trades on Sunday and held them overnight. And then I also took trades during New York session today. And as you can see, we took 2 losses and 2 winners, and let's get straight into how each trade played out. So going over the first trade here, as you can see, this is very simple. This is a very straightforward textbook setup as part of my strategy. We come back to the range 50%, as you can see, I marked out right here from the low to the high. This is a 50% level. Anything below this, I'm looking to long because we are obviously bullish, right? And we have all-time highs as a clear target right here, which we barely missed. And whether or not we had a bearish SMT here does not matter to me because we're still going to be looking for the highs on both assets. Therefore, I was looking for bullish signs in price. And so I was waiting for my entry model. I took a loss here on a lower time frame right here for a quick little -1, nothing too crazy, right? But remember, we always have internal sweeps whenever we're trading. So let me go back in time real quick. There's a lot of ways you can enter this trade here. I use my 1-minute IFVG setup here to enter this trade and confirm it off this 30-minute. So if you want to go on the 30-minute, this is what it looks like right here. We have a 30-minute sell to buy here. You can also mark the entire candle range if you'd like, but this is a very massive zone. I like to refine mine, so you can refine it to the 30-minute, 15-minute. Both look good. There's nothing on the 1 hour here, as you can see, so I wouldn't use anything on the 1 hour. If you go on the 5-minute, there is something on the 5-minute that you can refine. You can probably refine to this. This is definitely better than obviously marking this entire zone. If this zone fails here, for demand, I'll be looking for longs down here, or if we potentially sweep this. Now, we ideally should not be sweeping this if we are bullish because we already swept this low. This low here is a very strong low. We already swept the previous low or inducement here and made a new high. Therefore, this low actually should not even be taken. If it does get taken, there's a chance we actually go lower and go for this 15-minute, and from there, we can go bullish. But ideally, we do only retrace back to the 30-minute here and go higher. That's what I was looking for. And again, just take your entry models when you see them, and that's all you have to really do, man. So there was definitely different ways you can enter this this trade here. Now, if you didn't want to get stopped out here, you could just have a limit order here set. And remember, I tell you guys all the time with limit order trades, you want to have a wider stop. So ideally, stop loss here, you're gonna have to give a few ticks of breathing room. There's no set criteria specifically, just a few ticks because each situation does vary. Right, sometimes you'll have big PYs where you might need to give it a few more ticks. Other times, if the PY is very small, you won't need to have to give it too many ticks. Like for example, if this is your PY here, if you have a limit order, you would probably cover here. So your risk reward is definitely gonna suffer a lot. Ideally, I'm never gonna take a stop loss this big, especially during the ADA session when you know each candle on the 1 minute is very tiny, right, in comparison to the stop loss. So ideally, I'll probably just refine it to maybe like a 1 minute or seconds, even if you guys have access to the seconds chart. Some of you guys do, some of you guys don't. That's just completely up to you and your trading view subscription. Let me change this back to 100 so it doesn't lag as much here with the indicators. Again, if you guys are wondering what the indicator I'm using, I'm just using my custom made indicators I programmed. If you're interested in them, you can click the link down below. So here is basically the seconds here. So you could have taken definitely some confirmations on the seconds. Ideally, if for seconds entry, I like to use like 5 seconds, 15 seconds, most times 30 seconds sometimes, but it's a little too similar to 1 minute where there's not going to be a huge difference, to be honest, between those two. For the seconds, you could probably enter off an internal break here for 4.2 here. Obviously, it's going to hit stop loss, but you can manage the pro thing, or the pro benefit basically on the seconds is you can actually manage your position earlier because you have a better entry price. And if your entry price doesn't get stopped out immediately, the price goes in your favor. You can even TP for 1-to-1 if that's something you like to do. Again, I teach my students also, you can also scalp. If it's a low probability setup or you don't have high conviction in the trade setup, just go for a 1-to-1 scalp. That's the easiest way to achieve a 75-80% win rate with what I teach already, because the strategy, my main strategy to teach you guys is around a 60% win rate if you're trading it properly at a 3 to 4 risk reward average. So, you know, if you go targeting only 1-to-1, you can easily achieve like a 75% win rate, especially on the seconds. Now, let's go over how you could enter this on the seconds here. If you want to, did I mess up my tool here? I think I did. Okay. For this trade here, how you could have entered on seconds, honestly, you'd be looking for structural shifts in the market, right? So here's your structure here, and you just follow the structure. As you see the trend start shifting, we either create internal break structures like this, or we create an internal change of character, something like this. Then you can go from there and look for entry. Here, I do see an entry with my strategy here, and your entry and your stop loss. So you could place it below here or cover a few more POIs. Otherwise, you can place it there, Let's go back to the 1 minute and boom. This would be your entry basically using the seconds time frame here. So you would have caught definitely a lot more risk reward, probably 11 risk reward ish if you're using the seconds, except for the 1 minute, which is what I mainly go for nowadays, because the thing is with my account size at this point trading live, there is significantly more slippage on the seconds because of how many contracts I have to really enter to catch the move. Because if you think about it this way, if I'm risking the same dollar or percent amounts, if I have a stop loss that tiny, so this is 10 risk reward roughly. My original entry I think was 6 risk reward, so almost double number of contracts, right? Because my stop loss is almost cut in half, and that causes double amount of slippage. I already get slippage on the 1 minute, so personally for me, what seconds isn't really a thing I can really trade much anymore. I'll still have an edge, of course, but the risk reward just won't be as good an edge. So that's why I'm sticking with the 1 minute for now. It simplifies things also further down. But again, if you are on a smaller size trading account, you guys really do not have to worry. If you're on a prop firm also, there's zero need to even consider or worry about seconds. Feel free to trade on the seconds. But I tell you guys, man, seconds is mainly going to be used for a confirmation on a lower fractal time frame for entries. You don't want to be staying on the seconds time frame because there's too much noise. Personally, I think 1 minute is lowest you can really go to for looking for POI, structure, things of that nature. I like to alternate a lot between the 1 minute and 5 minute. And of course, I teach you guys the rest of the time frames and how I use them for my daily buys within the rest of the course. So that's the 6 risk reward trade there. Let's exit replay mode here and let's go over today's trade. So today I did tell the group that we were chopping up already. So everyone knows what I mean. When we chop up like this, you kind of want to avoid trading until we create a clear range. It did also look way worse in the 80 session last night of the trades that I took for 6 risk reward and -1. I did take a aggressive entry here. So if I didn't take the aggressive entry, I would have just TP'd for 1-to-1 on this trade. It played out, but I decided to take an aggressive entry because I'm not a huge fan of taking 1-to-1s, especially with my account size. Ideally, I'll still go for higher risk reward trading to maintain a good edge. But you can see I said my high time frame outlook was that we already hit 4-hour supply and took out a 4-hour high. I personally see more downside, but PA is bad. I said it around here, right? PA is very bad here, very choppy. So I told everyone to either wait for a clean range or come back tomorrow. You don't always want to sit on the charts the entire day because it causes you to force trades in bad conditions. A lot of you guys are probably blowing accounts or losing a lot. You probably have a low win rate because you don't know when to stop trading or when to not trade. This is an example of when to not trade. When price is really rangy, stuff like this, right? Now, if you go on something like NQ, what time is this? This looks much better. Yes, this is not as ideal, but you can see how it clears up a lot better here because when we come back to my entry model here and boom, there's your long. So on NQ, let's see, NQ made new all-time highs, I believe. Yeah, these are all new all-time highs here on NQ. So NQ made new all-time highs, hence why ES actually reversed. Let me check the time here. 12:10. Never mind, this was way later. What time did ES reverse at? 10:21. Yeah, so it makes sense here. NQ took out London session high. Again, session highs and lows are also key and vital, hence why I also have them with the indicators I coded because I use them. So you can see we took out London session high. That's why price on ES actually reversed at that exact second. NQ took that out. So we had an SMT there, but even then, without the SMT, look what happens. We have a 1 hour supply. So we had 1 hour supply here that got tapped into anyway. So there's a 1 hour that got tapped into. You could refine it to the 30-minute, 5-minute probably if you look at the time frame. I don't see anything on the 5-minute. So mainly just a 1 hour here that got tapped into. We had an internal sweep prior, which I'm not surprised. I tell you guys how to avoid these internal sweeps all the time in the course modules. So that's not a problem there. And you could have caught a very nice short for sure. I just got stopped out on my long and I wasn't really interested in this price action range. It was very choppy. So I didn't take the shorts, unfortunately, but I did tell everyone that if we don't hold the current origin, we will see London session low. And look what exactly happened. We took out London session low, as you can see, marked by the indicator. And look what happened as soon as we took it out. I hope everyone in the group also caught this exact same trade because I told everyone I was looking for London session low to get swept. We swept London session low, we tapped into a PY on the 5-minute, and your ideal entry would have been here, down here. I took a more confirmed entry because I wasn't honestly too sure. Because we definitely had a lot of space if you go to the higher time frame to the downside. We have a 1 hour here now. It is still somewhat quite far from where price was trading currently, but it's not like a stretch. And here is what I was talking about when I said 4 hour as well. We had a 4 hour supply that we're in. So we're in a 4 hour supply. Hence why I said I was potentially more downside, which is what we got. We got more downside all the way until we had a sweep into a PY, which is an A plus setup. Except I was a little hesitant on the initial entry here, which is okay, because majority times, or I wouldn't say majority times, sometimes you'll get lucky in terms of how price delivers, and you can get like a second attempt to redeem yourself essentially. So that's what I did here. Came back, went for a PY, and got confirmation on lower time frame, and got this nice 2 risk reward trade here. Just going for a very conservative TP, man. Nothing too crazy. Just going for that zone there. You obviously could have gone for this zone above the origin or A session London session high for new. I believe this is new all-time highs. No, it's not. Never mind. This is not new all-time highs. All-time highs are up here. But we will reach there at some point. We are very bullish. And you can see after we took those out, we dumped. We absolutely dumped. And where did we dump to? Look at that. Wouldn't you look at that? We dumped to where I was looking for originally, which is down here off this 1 hour. On a 4 hour, this is a POC, I believe. But on a 1 hour, it was very clear. So as you can see, what I teach you guys, man, it works like a charm. It's literally the algorithm. I don't know what else to say about what I teach, man. It's very, very accurate. So that's basically the wrap up for today's trades, man. I hope you guys did enjoy today's recap. Of course, you could have took also shorts even from here, but I was off the charts at this point. I was done, but my entry model would have been here. We would have took this nice short, and this could have ran an easy 7-8 risk reward, honestly, if you held for the demand I was looking at. So I hope you guys did enjoy today's recap, man. If you guys let me know what else you want to see on this channel. I'm going to mainly just be posting, I'll try to post daily recaps if I can, like this. But if you really want to see all my trades every day, obviously the private group is better because those are instant trade ideas versus these are more so recorded after. But hopefully see you guys in the free Discord server. And if you're really interested, you can lock in and apply for a 101 or check out the course. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.